Hello, this is Mr. Kabilski, and this is the special extra credit assignment for the learning styles that I talked about. Before we do that, I just want to make sure that everybody is aware in the announcements. I have information posted for the first semester exam schedule. It is on Wednesday, December 16th, so we only have coming up on 2 weeks worth of class time until the exam, so make sure that you are aware of it. If you have any questions, please contact me. This is going to be in USA Prep as we have done before, and it is about 12% of your grade, so it's going to be a cumulative test over units 1 through 5, and we will do a review over units 4 and 5 when we get to that point, but more about that. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, what is this learning styles assignment? Well, it's something that's kind of fun. I don't want to say there's no right or wrong answers because you need to put the appropriate stuff in the announcement or in the survey to get credit, but this is about you individually. And what we're going to do is there are 3 colors that are going to indicate something specific. This blue indicates a visual kind of perception, and we'll look at that. Green would indicate audio or auditory, and purple would indicate kinesthetic. Well, visual means what? You respond in terms of your eyes, what you see, and you even think about that in terms of these kinds of phrases, such as I get the picture, I see that, from my perspective, that's your view. So that's kind of the way our brain thinks, if that's you. And again, everybody's going to have a little bit of these. Some may have all 3 of them equal. Some might be skewed one way in particular. The other is auditory. So if you're auditory, you tend to think in terms of things that you would hear. I get the message, that rings a bell, strike a chord, sounds okay to me. So that's just the way your brain is kind of wired. And then the last one is kinesthetic, which is more about kind of hands-on process, as you can see up here with the hand. Okay, how does it grab you? A grasp of the basics. It certainly feels right. I can relate to that. Now, obviously, these are just generalizations, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of these, and these are just some of the questions that you'll get asked, and you're going to pick 1, 2, or 3, and when you pick them, off to the side here, a corresponding code is going to come up. Now, the thing you want to do is you want to pick one and move on. You don't want to think about it twice. You don't want to go back and say, that wasn't really what I meant. Just read it, pick it, and move on. So it's going to ask things like, I prefer lessons where we can discuss things, or I prefer lessons where there's something to look at, like a picture, diagram, video, or something to draw, or I prefer lessons where you can do something practical or at least move around. So read all 3 of them, select which one is going to be best for you. Oops. And then you're going to get a graphic off to the side. Then you go on to the next one. And they're all going to be a little bit different, but they're going to help you understand about yourself better. Now, you can learn more about learning styles down here. You can click on any of these links, or there's also going to be a PDF file. But when you get a PDF file, you're going to have to kind of chart it and associate with what your answers mean. Whereas here, what you're actually going to get is something like this. Again, you're going to go through, you're going to select your answers, and then a color will pop up. Color will pop up as you go through each of these. Now, this was just an example. This individual, this is actually me. I scored 4 on the blue, which is a visual learner, 1 on the green, which is the auditory learner, and then 13 on the kinesthetic, which is more of a hands-on learner. So that's just me in particular. That might not be you. And here is the link, and we'll get that again for you down here. Now, again, here's the graphic, and you can get into some of that information about what it looks like, what it feels like, what are questions asking you, but don't overthink this thing. This is just something fun that you should read through, then boom, you should answer your questions and move on to the next one. Okay, when you've done that, when you've done that, what you're going to actually do is it says when you've clicked one option and you go through 18 options, what you're going to do is you're going to total them up. So you're going to go back up and you're going to say, okay, 1, 2, 3, all the way. How many blues? How many greens? How many purples? And then write them off to the side on a piece of paper. Okay. Then this is what you're going to actually do to submit your work and get credit. Now, very first thing, this is an old survey, so make sure your answers apply to this year's class. So very quickly, last name, first name. You have to have that or you're going to miss credit. Obviously, Mr. Kabilski right now, everybody's in my class. For number 3, don't worry about the section number, the course number. You're in Biology 203 or Biology 204. Those are the only 2 options. Then post your information. What were you? Were you mainly the visual? Were you mainly the auditory? Were you mainly the kinesthetic? Or was it kind of split? Now somebody will say, well, I was 5, 7, and 6. Okay, that's pretty even. Okay, if you get 4, 4, and 8 in one area, yeah, I'd say 4, 4, and 8. I would be the area that would be 8. Okay, so just use your best judgment. Then on the last question, it's going to ask you, what do you think your classmates are? Do you think your classmates are like you, whatever you picked? Or do you think they are another specific learning style that works best for them? So that's kind of the gist. And then we're going to look at this when we get back on Tuesday after break. Now here it is. And I'm going to put this again in the announcements. Okay, this is the website, which is going to be right here. I'm going to put that in the announcements. And here is the link to the survey, which I'll put also in the announcements. And that's what we're going to do. And again, here is that website. The website's right up at the top. There it is. Here it is. You're going to go through and you're going to read the question, select it, and then it's going to go ahead and it's going to give you an update. So this is what it looks like starting off. So you're going to go through and they're mixed up. The questions are mixed up, so don't expect them always to be in the same order. But you're going to read which one of these 3 applies best to you. You're going to select that answer and then a color will come up here. Okay. If you have any questions, this is due by midnight on Monday. It's a 1-day offer. I want to get it in, get it done. Then over break, I'll give you your credit, which will be in Unit 5. I'll have an assignment listed there, and I'll put it in the announcements as well. If you do have any questions, let me move this over. You can see my smiley face there. Please email me. Again, Unit 3 closes on Monday, which is going to be today. Unit 4 actually closes a week from Monday because we're getting down to the end. I want everybody complete with all their work up until Unit 5 for that last week or 2. So make sure you're following up, and if you have questions, contact me. This is Mr. Kabilski signing off, and we hope you have a great Thanksgiving if we don't talk to you before then. Bye for now.